What's going on, Vault Dwellers? It's Top Ranking Noob, and I'm back at it again with another helpful video for Fallout 76. And today I'm going to be showing you how to get this new sexy paint job for the X01 Power Armor suit that's brought to us by Nuka Cola for their Quantum series. Now, it's taken me three different attempts to get this the plan for the paint job. And the problem is if you mess it up, you have to start all over again from scratch. You have to hop over to a new server and start all over again. That's not very fun. So I'm going to show you how to get this, and I'm going to walk you through the problems that I had. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you do, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And hey, if you guys want to check out some cool Fallout 76 gear, make sure you head on over to U4GM. I'm going to be putting their link down in the description, along with the coupon code that's going to be saving you 5%. Now, the first thing we're going to do to get this party started is head on over to the Nuka Cola plant, which of course is south of Vault 76. If you see my videos in the past, I used to come here quite a bit for cap stashes back in the day before they nerfed that. So with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to make our way to the front door. As you get to the front door, it doesn't hurt to stop by this trailer to see if there's a cap stash hanging out in this busted computer. For today, there's none in there, so I'm just going to keep moving forward. It does, in fact, spawn there. Nonetheless, you're going to head to the front door of the Nuka Cola plant. Now, as I mentioned, it took me 3 attempts to get this. We're going to be collecting 3 cards, and we have to collect them on the same server. If we mess any of this up, we'll have to start from scratch again and collect these 3 cards again. So our first card is going to be in this Nuka Cola plant. Go ahead and head into the front door. Once we're inside the building, we don't have very far to go. So we're looking for a bathroom on the first floor here. It's just going to be right up the stairs. There's going to be some level 1 scorched hanging around, so hopefully by now you have the skills and the gear to get past them. Now you are going to need a bobby pin or 2 because there is going to be this locked door. This is the bathroom we're looking for. And if you're like me and you always end up breaking bobby pins, it doesn't hurt to have an extra one. It's a level 0 though, so you don't need to worry about any perk cards. As long as you just got some bobby pins, you should be able to open that. We got this out-of-door bathroom. We're going to go inside and close the door, and there's going to be the paired key card number 1 there. I picked it up real quick as I was getting hit, but it's just laying on the floor behind the door. Once you got that, we're ready to head on to our second spot to get our second key. So what we're going to do is head to the east side of the map. We're going to be looking for the crashed plane. This is kind of close to the power plant and the Dyer chemicals station area. When you first spawn in here, you're going to be close to the front of the plane. So you're going to be looking right at the nose of the plane. And the suitcase is what we're looking for. There's a suitcase right underneath this plane, kind of close to the nose. There are going to be some higher level scorched in this area, so if you're a lower level player, look out for them. But ultimately, all we really have to do is find this suitcase and grab the second key. Assuming that you don't get interrupted by some scorch that are trying to ruin your video. Usually I would have came through here and killed everything, but you know, I didn't really think that far ahead. Nonetheless, what you're going to look for is those trees, and the suitcase is going to be on the trees. There's a few suitcases, but it's the one lying right at the base of these trees, or roots, whatever you want to refer to them as. Once you got that, you're good to grab the third key. Now, the third key is going to be to the southeast, a small town called Tonarga Town, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I didn't show it long enough on the map, so here's a quick image, but just southeast of our current location. When we log in here, we're going to be looking at this giant, I don't know, it looks like a mushroom build of a molehill. We need to do a little bit of platforming to get to the top of this. Now, if you got a jetpack or a marsupial, it's pretty straightforward, not too difficult to do. And there's not really any enemies around here. Although there is kind of a cave towards the top of this that is full of crickets that are a little annoying. But as long as you don't go inside the cave, they really shouldn't bug you too much. The platforming here is really not all that complicated. I'm usually horrible at platforming, just in general. Here's the cave I'm talking about. But basically, the hardest part is figuring out is that you have to kind of open this door at this busted house. I was going to say a bad word, my bad. There's a couple ways to get up here, but if you open the door and just kind of follow along the platform, it's going to get you to the top here. Now on the top of this little mushroom mountain, whatever you want to call it, mushroom hill, there's going to be a couple of busted up houses. One of them's really busted up and empty, which is what I'm looking at right now. We don't need that one, but what we're looking for is kind of this half looking house here. You can go through the front door, and basically on the far side here, up there at the top platform, is where our third card is going to be. This is so much easier with Marsupial or a jetpack. But this card is typically hiding out underneath that flag, so you might have to move some stuff up or pick it up, but there's our third card, or our paired card number 2 is the one that's up here. Once we have that, we're ready to actually go and generate our code, and this is where things get a little tricky and why it took me 3 attempts to do this. So the next location we're going to be heading over to is called Ingram Manor. Now this is just east of Morgantown, so a little bit more of a travel here. When you travel here, it's going to load you into a bit of a walkway, so we don't want to spawn right at the manor. There's going to be some scorched here. It might be variable what kind of enemies here, but they are scorched. Usually when I came here, they were scorched, and they were mid-level. So again, if you're a lower-level player, just be kind of prepared for that kind of fight. But all in all, what we're going to be doing is generating a random code. And we need this code in order to move on to the next phase of getting this paint job. Now the code again is random, so every player is going to get a different code. This is important though, because this is kind of how the system is weird. It could mess things up on you even if it's not your fault. You're going to go into the back and you're going to come across this terminal. When you access this terminal, you only got one option: generate the code. Now here you can see it's a 5-digit code, and this was wrong. This was my second attempt, and you need a 6-digit code. The first attempt gave me a 6-digit code that apparently I must have wrote down wrong, or it just didn't work because it glitched. But if it gives you a 5-digit code, regenerate the code, because that code is not going to work. We're going to enter a pin pad, or we're going to get to a pin pad, and you have to enter 6 digits in order for this to work. So once again, if you see a 5-digit code, generate another code. Also, when you get that code, make sure you write it down, because it's only going to work once, and if you don't get it right the first time, you're going to have to server hop and try everything all over again. So we're on the final stretch. We got a couple more locations we got to travel to. Next, we're picking up the keys, and in order to do this, we're going to Outlook Cabin, and this is close to Riverside Manor, just to the west of the White Springs Resort. When we spawn here, we're going to be looking right at the building we need to go into. So what we're going to do is go inside. We're back to low-level Scorched again, so if you're low-level, this should be easy enough for you. The problem is going to be the code, if anything. What we're going to be doing is looking for this basement. As we go downstairs, there's going to be a couple of more level 1 Scorched, but inside this this room here, we got some benches, some canisters, but hiding behind these, what do you call them, boxes, whatever you want to call them, there's some card readers, ID card readers. We're going to use those ID cards that we picked up, and it's going to dispose of the ID cards. It's going to open up the secret door, and this is where we're going to enter that 6-digit code in. Like I said, the second attempt, I entered the 5 digits, and it did absolutely nothing. You got to have that 6-digit code. Once you enter that 6-digit code, we're going to go back outside this door, and a new secret door is opened up, and we got our final objective, the keys. Once we have these keys, we're good. We're out of the danger zone, if you will, because these keys are going to stay in your inventory indefinitely. So what we're ready to do now is actually go to Dome 7 to unlock it and actually get our blueprints for the paint. So this is going to be our last destination. We're heading just west of Vault 76 to the Black Mountain Ordnance Site. And when we spawn in, it's actually going to be the first dome we come across. There's several domes here. So far, we've only been able to unlock one, which was Dome 4, if I'm not mistaken, and that gave us the Nuka Cola paint for the T51 power armor. But as we come across this first bed of rocks, kind of towards the back side, we're going to find this door kind of hidden there. It's got a label next to it called Dome 7. And as we go in there, our plans for the paint are just going to be chilling on top of this table next to the power station, our power armor station. So we want to make sure we pick those up. Again, we got the keys in our inventory indefinitely, so at this point, if you don't see the plans there, it's not a big deal. All you got to do is server hop and you can go straight to this dome. But if you messed up anything prior to then, you'd have to server hop and collect all of the keys all over again. Aside from that, you might find some other interesting things in here. Nothing too exciting that I found, but there's a Nuka Cola chilling on the desk in case you're trying to make that Nuka shine that everybody's been doing. Other than that, we just need to craft the paint. Now, the only thing we need in order to actually craft this paint is oil, we need steel, and we need plastic, and very little of it. So you probably already have all the materials that you need in order to craft this paint. And as an end result, we got something very new and unique. So I really dig this paint. It's quite a bit different compared to everything else. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you all next time.